Hi, welcome everyone back to the Retro Gamer 3 show, and holy cats, do I ever have a doozy for you this time. So sit back and enjoy this totally honest review of the Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie. Okay, apparently a lot of people, not including myself, have been waiting a long time for this thing to be completed finally. And it had completely been out of my mind. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I wasn't even thinking anything about it until some people on Facebook or whatever told me, hey, have you seen the AVGN movie yet? And I'm like, oh, I've forgotten all about that thing. It's out now? Okay, let's check it out. Because I personally have lost interest in James over the years. I've found his material just getting way too repetitive. He's regurgitating the same catchphrases and everything over and over again. So I couldn't really be more disinterested in anything that James does. Now, with that out of the way, I did contribute to this movie. I did. I donated money towards it because I was thinking what everyone else was thinking at the time, that James makes really good internet type videos for us to watch and enjoy, and they're entertaining. Even though, like I said, he's got repetitive over time and I don't really watch him anymore. But in the past, he's made some great things with almost no budget whatsoever, no money, everything done on his own, right? So you think, well, if you give him a bunch of money to create a movie, that the finished product should come out awesome, right? Like it's James. You give him a bunch of money, look what he can do with nothing, give him something, and he'll create something way better out of it, right? Wrong! There's so many things wrong with this video. I'm not even gonna call it a movie. I have to like invent another category for it, calling it maybe an internet movie, but it is now topping the charts of the worst thing I've ever witnessed on a screen. That means any category, via the movie, TV show, a whole movie made by a couple of parents back in the day. It tops the list. It beats out even Fred the movie, which used to be my number one, which coincidentally is also on another internet star. I'd rather watch Fred the movie than watch this thing again. It's so bad, it's so forced, it's so void of any type of heart, of any type of soul, spirit, or especially talent. How much did James get to make this movie? It was roughly under or over $300,000. So we're just gonna even it out and let's just say $300,000. That's a lot of money just to be given to somebody. Doesn't have to pay any of that back. Just, here you go, James. Here's a dump truck full of money. Now make this movie. When you see the movie, none of that money, you can see none of that money went into it. And you know what James did, and I said this before, and you know, kudos to him, I guess, for it. I would probably do the same thing, is if you were given $300,000, would you think about making this shitty fucking movie for everyone? No. I definitely wouldn't, and he wasn't either, and you can tell by when you watch it. The majority of that money went straight into James's pocket. I'd be thinking the same thing he would be. I mean, mortgage payments, let's pay off my house. You know, car payments, let's pay off that. Let's pay off credit cards. Let's go out and buy a new wardrobe and buy a whole bunch of new, you know, movie or filming equipment and everything for my videos. Let's invest in that. Don't invest in this crappy movie. Spend as little money as possible, and boy, does it show. So right down to the music and sound effects, the editing, the special effects, the actors, the props, the directing, the script, the writing, the whole thing is absolutely atrocious in every single category, and I'm not doing some kind of angry review because it's the Angry Video Game Nerd. I'm not doing some kind of a parody here. I'm being totally dead honest with you. And I went into this movie with very low expectations. I didn't expect to see something totally awesome, but I expected to see something of James' quality, and it's not even that. It is less than that. The biggest thing that he started throwing in my face right away that I wasn't too comfortable with was insults. He's basically insulting the viewer. He's insulting everybody who watches it, their intelligence, and all he's doing is really stroking his ego, because right away he has this montage of a whole bunch of YouTubers saying how much they love him, and that goes on and on and on and on forever. And I'm like, okay, let's get that out of the way. We know, James, we know you've got all these fans and blah blah blah, and you're so popular on the internet. Ooh, you're not the only popular one on the internet there, bro. Anyway, he keeps continuously throwing that in your face throughout the entire movie. That's a problem. You know, everywhere he goes, everyone's just like, hey nerd, high fives, low fives, mid fives, hey, you're awesome, oh my god, can I have your autograph, blah, blah, blah. Walking around like he's fucking Brad Pitt on the street or something like that. That's a load of fucking shit, man. Like, you're not that popular when you walk around. You're not like some superstar. You're not like Mel Gibson out on the street or something like that. But in the movie, he is. I don't know, it's just something wrong with that. And then the other thing is his name. Everyone calls him the nerd. Like, that's just dumb. It's like, hey nerd, or nerd, what's going on? Or nerd, come over here. That doesn't make any sense. Why wouldn't you use your real name? Everyone knows your name is James. Having an actual name in the movie would have been a lot better than being named after something. I mean, a nerd is a type of person. It's not like my name. It'd be like if I was calling myself human. Oh yeah, I know you're human, but what's your name? No, that is my name. My name is human. You know, like, and the whole movie drags on like that. So we're gonna get into the comedy. My God, it's so forced. And I didn't even crack a smile through the entire thing. It was so boring. I was nodding off multiple times because the jibber jabber dialogue goes on and on and on, and it doesn't make any sense. It's just a bunch of words, but they're not even put together like they're not constructing any real sentences after a while. It just sounds like garbly gook. And I'm like, And it's not even a joke, because I'm like, is that a punchline? Was that the punch? Is that where we're supposed to laugh? It seems as though it's only funny to one person, James. I don't know, maybe someone else might find it funny if you have very, very low IQ or something like that. I don't know, I didn't get it at all. Through the whole thing, I didn't get one thing. I'd like to say I got one thing, but I didn't. It was like, I don't know, watching a bunch of adults play with a bunch of Barbie dolls, and even that would have been funnier than this. That would have made more sense. I mean, it's just bad. Everything bad. They're all like playing with toys and paper maches and puppets and shit like that. It's just like a bunch of adults goofing around. No one is taking this movie seriously in any aspect. So I'll put it into perspective a little bit more for you here. You've got low budget movies, and then you've got this low budget movie. Now, people are gonna say probably, oh, that's what James intended to do. And I can kind of see that, okay? He's trying to make a low budget type movie because that's what it is. But the difference between a low budget movie that's been made before and has camp value now and that's funny is that those people were taking the movie seriously. You can't fake a low budget movie. Like, you can't have a low budget movie pretending or trying really hard to be a low budget movie. Those people put heart and soul into it, and they were taking it seriously, even if they were bad actors. That's what makes it funny, and that's why people want to watch it. This is a forced low budget movie, if that makes any sense. You have to see it to know what I mean. So you're watching it and it's not funny, and it's boring, and it doesn't make any sense. It's a bad movie trying to be a bad movie, low budget movie trying too hard to be a low budget movie. You just wind up with nothing. You wind up with, that's perfect, nothing. A soulless nothing, that's what you end up with. So the budget, $300,000, huh? Okay. Well, that definitely did not get put into the special effects department. Let's start with that one. The awesome special effects in this movie, right? No, he faked everything. There's so much bad green screen going on, and I'm using green screen right now, and guess how much budget I've put into this? Exactly. And even my green screen effect right now looks better than that fucking movie does. And another thing is all the explosions, even gunshots, for God's sakes, gunshots. You didn't even get real guns that could shoot blanks. That's the bare minimum that you could do in a movie. No, it's everything done on like the cheapest video editing software that anybody can do. I've seen 12-year-olds, 10-year-olds do it. You know what I mean? They put a gunshot, a flash, a muzzle flash in there that's just so fake and so forced, and explosions that have been done with some kind of a particle effect that's like, that comes with your video editor. Like, are you serious? So no money went into that. Let's talk about music and sound effects. It sounds like something that James just downloaded royalty free from the internet. That's exactly what it is. All the sound effects are just something he either had on his computer already or he downloaded the music royalty free. He didn't actually hire, you know, a professional cinema movie producer, director, whatever you want to call them. That's a person that actually creates music for a professional movie, or it was donated to him. Like, the whole entire movie screams donated. So that brings me on to the next thing, the wardrobe and costumes. You have got to be kidding me. They went to a recycling dumpster, okay, not in the movie, but I know this is where they got their props and costume accessories from. They went to a dumpster and they got garbage out of it, and they put it on. I'm not joking. I'm talking boxes, I'm talking Christmas tree tinsel and tinfoil. Really, $300,000, people, and you're dressing up these extras in garbage. And then they're like, oh, these are your killer robots. You didn't even go out and get proper Halloween costumes. I could have at least accepted that. You went as low as to use garbage. Now, there are other movies with way less budget than this. I mean, how about Kevin Smith and Clerks? That's like a $25,000 budget, and look at how good that movie is. It's almost entirely 100% dialogue, and it works. You listen to it, and that is a good movie. Like, I don't care what anyone says, $25,000. That's not even a pinch of what James got to create that. Or let's talk about Blair Witch Project again. It's like, what, $30,000 to create that? And that is a classic. People running around, and there was like no dialogue. If you watch the creation of that movie, it's almost 100% improv. That's the problem. He didn't have enough improv in this one because, I don't know, he didn't pay actual real actors who could do proper improv, you know? It all boils down to a big word here, talent. Nobody in this thing, including James himself, has a shred of talent. Let's even touch on something a little bit bigger. Let's get closer to James's category, one of his iconic favorite movies, Halloween, the original Halloween with Mike Myers. That was made with a budget of exactly the same amount that James got, $300,000. And look at how iconic and awesome that movie is. You see what I'm getting at here? He definitely pocketed most of that money. It totally shows. And another thing that the movie is just so bad for is cliche after cliche after cliche. There's nothing in this movie that James has not already done in one of his videos already. That's how you can tell the editing was entirely done by him. He didn't pay someone to edit this. He didn't pay professional editors. You can tell when you look at it. It was all edited by him. I don't even care about the fucking credits, okay? That's just a bunch of lies, even if he had editors in there. That's bullshit, okay? What did they do? Like, you know, volunteers. Almost 100% of the people in this movie are volunteers to be like, hey, yeah, look, I'm on the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. But it was definitely edited by him, and you can tell. Little models. He didn't even go as far even to wreck a car in it. That was the kicker for me. I mean, that was basically the kick in the nuts of all time of this movie. He rented, probably, didn't even buy this piece of shit fucking van that they drive around in the movie. So bad. Just rented it, or he probably borrowed it. It's probably, somebody owns it. who works, who was on the set. I shouldn't say work, because they just volunteered to be on the stupid video, and he didn't even wreck it. Okay, I mean, you can't even wreck that van. He took a model of the van, and it's so blatant obvious, and he rolls it down this scaled model of the mountain that looks like paper mache garbage that somebody made. Couldn't even wreck the fucking van. How about other cliches, like he gets a bunch of people and puts really bad Halloween makeup on them. Oh, be zombies and chase me now. Okay, there you got the zombie scene in there. Can't have a movie without that, right? Next cliche, you got some kind of alien puppet that's like the worst thing. Imagine Sesame Street puppet times a million times worse, and he just says a lot of random garbly gook, doesn't make any sense, doesn't have much to do with anything. It just looks horrible and bad, and I guess he thinks it's funny, this alien puppet or whatever that does shit, whatever. Can't have a movie without an alien puppet in it, apparently. Just everything. And then, oh, you can't, yeah, we know, James, you love Godzilla, and then he has the Godzilla scene that takes up almost a quarter of the entire end of the movie. That's just a guy, again, dressed up in garbage, tinfoil and, you know, tinsel and cardboard, and oh, he's in front of a green screen and he's wrecking Las Vegas like he's Godzilla. Now, James is not a director. We know that now, definitely not. And he is not an actor. He should have hired some. I mean, everyone wants to see James, the nerd, in the movie, but I mean, my God, I would have hired somebody, because he's just really bad. He's just not an actor for shit. And his facial expressions forced through the entire thing. It keeps cutting to James continuously for close-ups through the entire movie, and all he keeps doing is the same stupid facial expressions. Look, they go like this. And then this one. So it goes. An hour and a half of that. Hot spoiler alert, the whole climax of this awesome movie that everybody was just dying to see and paid all this money for is a build-up to the ending, which is James reviewing finally E.T. for Atari 2600. It was all a build up to that. The credits roll at the end, and it's James he's just like talking about the game. It's not even as good as any one of his other angry video game nerd reviews of E.T. And he doesn't even really trash on it. He just talks about it. That was the ending. The whole movie is a build up to that. To him just finally reviewing that game. What? See what I mean? How it's just confusing? I'm like, that's it. That's the end. So anyway, the whole thing is just horrible beyond belief. And then he had the balls. He had the balls to actually charge money for you to watch this thing. It's not uploaded on YouTube or anything for free. You think that I would pay money to watch it? Fuck that shit. Pirate it. Pirate that shit right now, because already all that money he choked out of everybody's penis is already in his pocket, and then he has the balls to charge money for you to fucking watch it. But the only thing that really did make me laugh, okay, is when it was finally over, thank God, I laughed because I just witnessed James' entire dream of becoming this next Steven Spielberg director, or even next Kevin Smith, go straight down the toilet with a bullet. No one's ever gonna take him seriously in the industry after looking at this. It's so poorly done in all aspects that you could possibly think of. And it doesn't matter whether or not he did it deliberately, or even if he didn't do it deliberately. Either way, it's so amateur, so childish, that any professional whatsoever wouldn't even talk to him, okay? It's an absolute joke beyond belief. Worse than any B-rated movie, because like I said, they have heart, and they have soul, and they have spirit. They have something in them. As bad as they are, they have something in them. This thing is done by talentless idiots, and it has nothing, and it has no soul, and it is completely void of anything whatsoever. So, you don't believe me? Go ahead and watch it for yourself. If you have any shred of IQ at all, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Why do we go to movies? We watch movies for entertainment. I wasn't entertained. I was bored out of my mind. I was falling asleep. I was like, when is this over? This is just stupid. It's stupid waste of time is what it was. Pay to watch this thing? No. You'd have to pay me to watch it. You'd have to give me at least $100 to sit through this thing again. No way in hell, frozen over in heaven above, would I ever watch this thing again. So, that's it. The Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie, 0 out of 0 with a bullet.